Grand Rising family, it's Shay Seeking, and this is Not Your Mama's Bible Study, along with a little bit of his story lies. Um, Welcome back to the channel. Um, I'm back today with something I was speaking to you guys about the other day. When it comes to some of these emblems, some of these heraldic signs, some of these coat of arms and things like this, and seeing if you guys can help me with interpreting what we may be seeing here when it comes to these images in some of the biblical text. So again, on this channel, we have a theoretical approach. Okay, bear with me. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to do this video because I owe it to you guys. And this is like my fifth time trying to record it, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through it this time. So anyhow, so what we're doing basically is going into the Apocrypha, and we're in the book of Second Esdras. Okay, I keep wanting to say Ezra, so which again I think that some say that this is like the second and third part of what would be Ezra from the biblical text, but again, this is why we use our own wisdom, knowledge, and discernment to lead us and guide us in the spiritual realm, and that main source, no, the main connection to the source, or just that core third eye chakra, whatever you want to call it. We're all, being led, using certain gifts that a lot of us push to the side because of certain things like religion and education, which are two of the major indoctrination stations that have been holding, oh, and entertainment, okay, has been blinding the third eye, I feel, for a long time. And stopping us from getting to that higher level of consciousness. Those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, I believe that you probably know what I mean. So, again, at this level of, or at this time in this awakening, many people are going to be awakened, but everybody has their own place where they should be. I try to stay in my lane, which is a somewhat lonely lane. Because a lot of people at this point in time are ready to give up on religion, which I agree with, the church, which I pretty much agree with in a sense. If it's the one that we've been dealing with for all this time with no change. But when I say that giving up on the biblical text when your third eye is open is probably a mistake if you don't want to see certain things that you may not have seen no matter how many times you've read the text prior to getting to that level. And you have to go through, like I said, a thing. You have to let go of a lot of worldly things mentally, okay, concerning your consciousness, your what do I want to say? Your subconscious mind, things that have been programmed and drilled into you, fear, the fear of going to a hell, the whole way of looking at God in heaven, looking at everything you're doing, or the devil under the ground that is waiting on you. When we get to a realistic aspect of this, you'll notice that all that stuff is going on in this matrix or this time frame right here on earth living, okay, right now. So, and then you'll realize that this heaven that's spoken of in some portions in this biblical text may not be where you would want to be in the first place. Again, because if we want to take this on a more worldly realm, in a more worldly here and now perception, those that are in heaven or in that place, okay, or that elevated status, the abode of God, the firmament, whatever you want to call it, those that are within that are basically dealing with your elitist, your deep state, your secret societies, these things in the background that we have some kind of a perception, okay, as to what they want us to think it is, but do we really know what it is? So again, this is neither here nor there. I'm not here to tell you, again, I'm never here to tell you what it is, what it ain't. I'm just sharing what it looks like to me. But there is, again, when it comes to evil or good, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean, neither here nor there, because again, I'm not there to tell you. I can only tell you what the perception is that they're leading us to believe as a masses, even when we think we're awake. So in that sense, okay, I would not want to go into either one of those territories, even though, spiritually, melanated and aboriginal or original peoples have been put in that caste, that level, or in that class, by one of these gods of creation, um, uh, period. So, and that's what I mean by when we're talking about the caste system, the earth or the aboriginal people, the street sweepers or the latrine cleaners, which is the bottom of the barrel, okay, which is that resides in the ground or under the ground, as dead people, you know what I'm saying, in a sense, legally, okay, having no standing, okay. So those people, when you look at the caste system, if you pull it up on Google, I always do, so I'm not going to do it now. But there's a space between those people, okay, which I call the enmity, okay, the space between those people and the servants, commoners, um, and I forget the other term that they use, which are, I feel, Slavic people, from different nations that were brought in to help build, okay, on top of the originals. Um, and some of those people may have been indigenous, meaning they mingled or amalgamated with the actual earth and became the offspring of said earth. Okay, you know what I'm saying? As subgroups or sub races. Again, this is not any type of trying to say one race is better than the other. That's not what I'm saying, but I am trying to bring structure back to where I feel it has been lost. Okay, so again, we have to put things, order in the court. Have to put things back in order to presume. We know that's how a lot of things go in this so-called life. So again, I know I'm rambling right now, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys, if you're new, kind of like a level of understanding as to where we're coming from on this channel. Um, Okay, and so on that note, we're going to go ahead and look into this Russian two-headed eagle. Now, I'm looking at this Russian eagle, but I was also looking into anyone like Germany and Spain. Um, I think France may even have, if I'm not mistaken, a eagle. America has one, but again, when we read through this, we're going to see that changes are made. And I can't tell you for sure if we're going back and forth. That's why I'm asking for people to weigh in and tell me what they think they see or have seen. Oh, and then also, I think it was Montenegro. Montenegro. Also, that is ringing a bell. And then Armenia. Uh, as well. So there is a verse in here that's going to talk about Carmania, and I believe if you drop the C, you're going to get Armenia. And I found the flag and the emblem before I've read that term, and then actually ran across the term and said, okay, well, I think I might be in the right place. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you guys, this is kind of like me taking you along with, it's just random, to show you how I'm seeing things and see if anyone else can weigh in on them. Okay. Maybe a lot of you already knew this. Maybe this doesn't matter or whatnot. But when I show you this, and then also more reading has been done, so I went back a little bit and it brought me more things to put this in place. So I just want to share with you guys and collaborate with you. You know how it is with me. When I'm on something, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? I let the spirit guide me, and I'm just a seeker and a seer. That's all. So some of the stuff that I see, like I told you before, may not even be for me, but I feel it's necessary to share it because someone else may be able to use it to unlock another door in their search. So, okay. So now we're going to be in, I'm just going to keep this up on the screen. Now it's saying that this is the Russian gold two-headed eagle with the scepter and orb. Um, in its clause, was approved November 30th, 1993. The first interpretation of the symbol of the coat of arms, Russian two-headed eagle with the image of a rider on its chest. Uh, let's see, became and now when we talk about the chest of these things, I also look at the bosom, or how it says that somebody was in the bosom or the bosom of someone in the biblical text. So keep that in mind, because that's in the chest. Okay, so became available to the public. Okay, so again, a lot of these emblems, like I was reading, they are basically hidden from the public, and sometimes they will bring them out and reveal them. So I'm guessing that this is one that they did that with. It became available to the public with the publication in Moscow, the Slavic Bible in 1663, with the three crowns and the Eastern eagle shines, depicting faith, hope, and love of God. For north to south, okay, from the tail to the head, okay, um, you know, yeah, okay, and then from east to west, the eagle stretches its wings, covering all. Okay, so you see that. Now, these are his wings, you know what I'm saying? And they're in all levels. Again, in this level, I feel like this is talking about the earth most times when you see this representing. And I'll show you when we read through this biblical text what I mean. This this reminds me of the heavens, and then again the waters in a sense. Okay, or maybe some kind of skies maybe might be in here. You know, all in all, I feel like the white and the blue makes this. Okay, but I don't know. Maybe it will make more sense when I explain it to you guys a little bit more. Okay, so stretches its wings, covering all. So from east to west. Okay. Now, and also another thing that just came to my mind, what are we talking about when we're looking at a so-called map as well, as to what we're actually talking about? Because really, too, north to south, if you think about how the map is set up, with Canada up top, really cold. I'm not sure what the population of melanated people are at this point in time, or indigenous or foreigners, okay, from different nations that came in, okay. Again, we're all here now, so it's not to point fingers and say any of these people had any fault, because I now know that there are bigger fish to fry, and that those bloodlines are the ones we need to point the finger at, because a lot of these people that were brought over here didn't have a choice as well, and some of those people were Slavic people and they were slaves as well. Not to say that everyone stayed that way. Some of them were brought out of Egypt by someone, in my eyes, and some of them stayed there. Okay, and then now I feel we're all back into slavery, modern day slavery. We just don't realize it. So again, and then we're talking east and west, and then also, you look at the map and look at that band of where melanated people, I want to say around the equator, closer to or below, and how, the southern parts, in the coast of the Americas, and then the islands in Mexico and South America, and then portions of Africa, Thailand, and southern portions of Asia, remind me of this band here. Okay. But anyway, let's stop with all that and let's get into this reading. Okay. So, stretches its wings, covering all. Okay, thus the double headed eagle is interpreted as a symbol of indivisibility of Europe and Asia, Russia. Okay, it says Europe and Asia, Russia. Eurasia. I don't know. But again, we know that right now some portions of Asia and Russia are getting along really good all of a sudden. These might be something that, people were pointing out last year, but we're not talking that much about right now. And, just something to keep your eye on, especially after we read this text. And the three crowns symbolize the three kingdoms, the Kazan, the Astrakhan, and Siberia. Okay? So let's go ahead and read this portion of the scripture. And you tell me if you see something here, or if I'm may not be seeing what I think I'm seeing. Okay? So I'm not going to do the definitions. Maybe I'll do them at the end or throw them into a different portion because it's going to take too long. But we definitely want to do one, okay? Because we did just read this. So I do want to do indivisibility, okay? And then we're going to go on. I'm not going to do the ones. I'm not going to do the ones from the scriptures. We're going to just... Now I done lost my train of thought. Okay. Indivisible. Oh, that reminds me, with liberty and justice for all, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so it just says from indivisible. Okay, here's a related entry, late 14th century, singleness of nature, unity, indivisibility, immutable, which is reminding me of inalienable rights for some reason right now. From Old French, okay, let's see, state of being simple, frankness, openness, artlessness, candor, directness, genitive, to simple, sense of ignorance, okay, that of simplicity of expression, plainness or style, sense of humility, lack of pride, wholeness, unity, ignorance. Okay, so I'm wondering who is in ignorance. And then again, you have these holiness and everything, and you know what I feel might be leading to one of the most high gods on the earth or over the earth, and those who dwell therein, or the inhabitants, or indigenous, or foreign, or alien people. Okay. Again, and they do live pretty simply in this area, but we're just going to go ahead and look at this: not divisible, not opposite of. Okay, so again, that's just forming some kind of unity, I'm guessing, okay, with those particular people. Okay, so since we've read that, let's go ahead and go into the scriptures, where we're going to see, where we're going to start at second Esdras chapter 10, and we're going to just go at 59 and go. Okay, so the highest shew thee visions of the high things, which the Most High will do unto them that dwell upon the earth. Okay, in the last days. So this is what this, the Most High will do unto them that dwell upon the earth in the last days. So a lot of people think we're in the last days right now. So I don't know what that means. Could it be at a different time? Could it be now? But it says what they're gonna is those that dwell upon the earth. Okay, so if you are in Aboriginal, you are the earth. If you are indigenous, you're the offspring of the earth. And possibly these other people, but again, at least you have a connection through a certain root. You have real roots here, okay? So, again, so I slept that night, and another, like as he commanded me, okay? Then I saw a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathers, no, which had 12 feathered wings, okay? and were gathered together. Okay. So I had seen different variations of this here bird. Okay. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. So I'm not sure what they're going to tell us this represents, but for me, this means that it's coming. This makes me think that it's coming up out of the waters, right? Okay. Here are the 3 heads, even though you don't see that one here. Again, I feel as though these are still the 3 heads here. Okay. This one just happens to sit here and here, and this one I feel is the one that's in the midst thereof. Okay. So, and I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth. Okay. So she spread her wings over all the earth. Okay. And all the winds of the air below her. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, let me go back. I can't. I really need a larger Apocrypha because this one is so small. Okay, and by the time I choose to try to go get glasses, guess what? You can't go. So, they're urging you not to even go to the doctor's office unless it's an emergency. Okay, so let's see. Okay, and all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. Okay, so the winds of the air make me think of the fowl of the air, makes me think of certain groups of people, right? So this feels like this to me, it blew on her. Again, this part as well. Even though she came out of the ocean, maybe this does represent the waters above and the waters below. And then this may represent the earth at some point in time. And this may represent those who are mingled with the heavens and the sea. And one of these represents the highest realm. I noticed that I'm starting to look at small things like the podiums that these people speak from, the symbols that's on there, the way that they're tilted to the side or not, the flags that are behind them when they speak. Just a lot of things are starting to call out to me that's making me pay attention to things that I've never paid attention to before. And you'll be shocked as to what you see. Hopefully this will help some of us look a little bit deeper, because I think these are signs here that are showing something to come. Okay. So, so yeah, anyhow, this would represent that to me. Okay. Okay. She spread her wings. Okay. So let's see. Oh, we already did the 12 wings. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back. Let's see. Okay. Now this one, this does have, it's kind of funny how it kind of is set up here, because I went through a thing looking at the feathers and everything, but they alternate, they changed them. Some are more defined over time and whatnot. But if I were going to look at this, I would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this would be the 12 to my idea, okay, of this, for this particular image. These would be the 12 wings, and then these are the feathered portions of the wing. And it's going to say later on that the wings get smaller and then smaller and smaller. Okay. So again, this red will represent the earth in a sense. Okay. This still has the 3 heads, You see, I just want to show you guys different ways of how it's, edited to look a certain way. Okay. Um, you'll see more of this when we look in, when we go down a little bit further. But also, I think this one is a really good representation of it. And then when it starts talking about the things splitting up into different, groups, I think that we are going to come back down to this one. And then it's going to say, the different portions that were attached to these wings in a sense. So, okay. I'm sorry. I get kind of excited and then I go all over the place. Okay. But I wanted to show you the 12 wings before we went any further. Even, let's see. Let's try to see if I can find another one. Okay, again, it took me a while because I was trying to count all of these and I kept saying, well, it's not adding up, but I feel like this is it. But now I kind of see how this is one really big one here. And then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6. And then these are going to be smaller here. Same thing here. And then you can definitely see where one is like split, where it's going to say something about one of the wings in a minute. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to show you. And we're going to keep on going. Then it's going to describe a little bit more. So, okay, so all the winds blew on her and were gathered together. So again, that was making me think about these being gathered, these being gathered. But it was also telling me about showing me these, because these could represent the winds or the families of those winds. You know what I'm saying? That will be attached to those different colors that we saw here, that would be doing certain jobs here. Okay. Also, same thing here. Okay. So, and I saw, and behold, she spread her wings over all the earth. Now, remember when we saw up here, it says wings covering all. Okay. But here in the Apocrypha, it says wings covering all the earth. And all the winds of the air blew on her and were gathered together. Okay. Also, that reminded me, the winds or the fowl of the air also reminds me of, I was going to say this one, but okay, also reminds me of this here. They were all, around her and gathered. And this is the earth. Also in this background represents, that red represents the earth as well. Kind of like, I think of it when I think of like the Moorish flag. So I'm not going to tell you what kind of earth, but I'm just saying earth. Earthlings, people of the earth. Okay. So, let's see. And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they become little feathers and small. So again, you can kind of see this one, how you have the long ones, then you have the little ones, and then you have really small ones here. So again, you can just see that on many of these images here. Okay. But her heads were at rest. The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Okay. So, the head was much larger. And here, it's going to say that the other two heads were taken away and one remained, I believe, in a minute. But again, there's the two without it. Okay. And it has the red in the background. But again, this one is obviously in this image larger. And then these two things are here. And then also this makes me think of the residue. Okay. Okay. So let's just go ahead and look up residue real quick. Okay, 14th century. Are we in the fourth day? A remainder. Okay, that which is left behind. Noun use of neuter of adjective residus. Okay, remaining left over from resider, remains behind. And again, this is going to go a lot into talking about Virginia and how a lot of how it says that the certain bloodlines came out of there, and they will never, no other man will build it there, and things like this. And presidents come from there. A lot of presidents have come, their bloodlines have come through there. Okay, and it's just a lot that goes with this. So it says residual, residue, royalties. Okay. Okay. So let's see some of these. The sediments of liquors, foreign matter that subsides to the bottom of the vessel of containment. Okay, so again, this is reminding me also. Now it's going to say grape skins. Now this is funny because when we go back into talking about what we're really going to talk about, we'll see something about grapes here. But remaining left over. Okay, okay. I forgot what I was going to. Oh, okay. That's what I want to say. Okay, so pertaining to again a certain portion of a class or something like that is what this is also uh, reminding me of. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. Sorry for the abrupt ending again. Or am I? I don't know because it's working out a little bit better for me. But again, I want to keep the videos a little bit shorter. It seems like you guys like them a little bit better. And if this is the only way that I can do it, then so be it. So go ahead and every time you come, please go ahead and hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. And also don't forget that we have the Facebook group, American Aborigines Unchained, again, that you can join. We just basically, there's not a lot of, I would say, bickering back and forth. We're just basically there to share information with people that they may not have been aware of, for them to do with whatever they want to do with the information. So if you want to join us in the group, you're more than welcome to. Oh, and I think that's it. So I guess take care, and I'll see you guys soon.